The SweetElite site has now changed to Dulcet Games site. I know it's kind of old news, but I already haven't had a chance to actually sit down to it. So now we have diamonds as well as keys for playing the episodes. And to start an episode, we now have to use the keys to start them, and then the rest of the episode is like basically for free. So we just started with the set amount of keys, and this is about it. So it is time to start the rest of our adventure. As soon as Tadashi announced the news, chaos erupted in the hallway. It was like he had dropped a bomb on us, with nervous energy acting as the fallout. All at once, everybody started planning. Some even headed to the bathrooms to shower and start the day, and it was barely 6 a.m. Screw this. I'm going back to bed. Axel did not look particularly happy to have been woken up, by Tadashi no less. He glared at him and closed the door to his dorm, grumbling. Honestly, mood. I have to admit, I shared the sentiment. I wanted nothing more than to crawl back under my covers and sleep for days. Oh my god. The realization hit me like a brick. Wait, the department competition starts tomorrow? The department competition? I remember hearing about this competition even before I applied to Arlington Academy. Every year, the Academy hosts a competition between its 7 departments. Each department is supposed to create a large project and present it in front of the school. And every year, the country's top business leaders, university directors, and even celebrities watch this competition. I heard even the head of the NASA comes to see the pure and applied science department's presentations. This competition is not just a big deal. Oh my gosh, okay. It's one of the most prestigious annual events ever held in the country. I see some typos here, but okay. It was one of the reasons I decided to apply here as a student. The idea of working on a project with my department and getting noticed by a top leader in my field, just imagine how much that would help my future career. True. Oh, I see Alistar over there, chatting with Raquel. They look excited. I should go talk to them. You two look energetic for so early in the morning. Oh, come on, Forrest. You know we're used to waking up early for mandatory athletics training. Which is ironic, because we would have had it today if Coach didn't cancel it this morning. We just had the fitness test yesterday. He probably wanted us to have a day to recover our sore muscles. No way, Al. You heard Tadashi. Coach must have known about the competition. He's probably expecting us to fill out our forms right this minute. Why do we need to fill out the forms anyway? I thought all students are supposed to join in the competition. Alistar and Raquel looked at me in surprise. I felt my cheeks heat up in embarrassment. Was that a stupid question? That's right, you weren't here with us last year. Sometimes I forget you're still the new kid, Forrest. Almost all students joined the competition, so the forms are more of a formality, but they still need to make sure we sign all their waivers and non-disclosure agreements. I'm not sure if you know, but the competition is a very private event. Oh yeah, I know the competition is supposed to be live streamed to a private audience only. And many of the country's most influential people watch to see what kind of cool stuff the departments create every year. The only reason I know about the competition is because those of us back home heard Arlington Academy announce it on the news every year. On the school's social media pages, I also found pictures of their past competitions, along with photos of business leaders shaking hands with some of their favorite students. But I've never been able to find a single one of those live streams online. No one from the outside really knows what goes on during that competition. Yeah, the school goes out of its way to make sure everyone keeps quiet about whatever is said during the event. Are you sure so much privacy is a good idea, though? I remember the news had started some bad rumors about the academy. Oh, we've heard the rumors too. Arlington's Academy's annual competition is a sham. Rich kids make secret deals with the US government. Basically, anything that implies that we're fake and buy our way around by promising part of our family's money. If only they knew. Also, Al, mind having this conversation somewhere that's not in front of our dorm? I've got exactly 34 minutes of nap time budgeted before I need to get up again and process all of the paperwork. Oh my goodness. Tadashi. You gotta take it easy, man. Not gonna happen. Lady A is about to lay down the details of the competition once classes start. There's going to be a massive changes this year, and frankly, I don't really know how I feel about them. Oh shit, spill the tea, Dashi. Dashi. You know I'm sworn to secrecy, Rakol. Also, don't call me that. Tadashi opened the door to his room before turning back and giving me one last look. Forrest, you look like shit. Think about getting some more sleep. Don't be like me. I was about to say, look at who's talking, but I guess he did say that, yeah? He closed the door and I heard a heavy sigh coming from behind it. Don't take it personally, Forrest. He loses all of his tact when he gets tired, but he means well. Oh, I bet. My head started to hurt. I really did need some sleep. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a page from his book and get some shut-eye. I'll fill out the forms when I wake up. Good call. Well, I'm way too hyped to get some rest. I'll catch you in the gym, Alistar. I've got some training to do. Raquel went back to her dorm and grabbed her gym bag before darting towards the gymnasium. I wish I had her energy. The competition must mean a lot to her. I waved Alistar goodbye and made my way back to my room. Go back to sleep. Okay. See, I like this kinda objectives, you know? It tells me to go to sleep. I think I would need something like this in my real life, honestly. I closed the door and let myself fall on my bed. It's only going to be a 1 hour nap, but at this point, I'll take all the sleep I can get. 1 hour later, I let out a heavy groan when my alarm rang, and it took all of my willpower not to hit the snooze button. Come on, Forrest. I felt like a zombie as I dragged myself out of bed and prepared for class. Go to science class. Awesome. This was it. I made it to science class a few minutes early. Everybody looked like they were busy working on something. It was a stark contrast to the nonchalant, sleepy vibe that usually reigned over a morning class. I honestly love the graphics of the backgrounds that they have in this game. I spotted Tegan and Ellie next to the windows, wrapped up in a conversation about what seems to be blueprints on Ellie's desk. Tadashi was at the front, furiously typing away on his laptop. Then there was Axel at the back of the class, engrossed in whatever music he was listening to. I think I'm going to go sit with Tegan and Ellie. I made my way to the window seats and glanced over at the blueprints. Hey, you guys, what are you working on? You sure you wanna know? I'd have to kill you if I told you. She's so cute. Oh, in that case, can I see them, please? Tegan! Mood! That's such a mood. Oh my goodness, okay. How macabre. Oh no, you're a vital part of the plan. Invaluable. I'm afraid you'll have to stick it out a bit longer, Tegan. Tegan clutches at his shirt, around where his heart would be. Is this a project for the competition? No way. You really think we'd be cheating out in the open like that? Ellie elbowed Tegan lightly. Tegan, you big goof. Forrest doesn't know how the competition works. Oh, right. Forrest, it's not really allowed for students to work on their projects before the department prep period. Still, it would be nice if we could do this as our project. You should take it easy, Ellie. It's hard enough to convince the seniors to do personal projects when they're doable. What you have here, well, a solitary step away from impossible. Oh, ye of little faith. I'd remind you that I built my first robot years ago, and my skills have since doubled. Don't underestimate my power. She's so cute. It's not about your power level. It's about every government in the world not being willing to sell plutonium to a minor. I snuck a look at the papers. I can't really tell what it's supposed to be from the drawing, but I think I can see a title scrolled out in rushed handwriting. Death Ray. Lovely. I don't think building a demo Death Ray is something anyone attending the competition will appreciate it. Honestly, surely if anyone can build this, it's Ellie. Exactly, and think of all the practical uses. Speaking of the competition, what about it? I was hoping I could ask you guys about it. Ask away. Well, let's start with this. What exactly can I expect during this competition? Just in general, or... For now, yeah, I'm not really sure what I need to know. Well, the overall competition pretty much consists of 3 parts. The department practice, the interviews, and the actual competition. There's an interview? Yeah, it sucks. Tegan, don't scare Forrest. It's really not that bad, Forrest. Lady A and the department heads interview everyone, but really, you're just talking about yourself. And there's a chance to win a prize. A prize? I wouldn't get my hopes up, Forrest. Axel took it last year for our grade, and I think Tadashi was the runner-up. Pretty hard to beat a celebrity and a child billionaire. Tegan, not helpful. Oops, sorry. I just wouldn't be too hard on yourself if you don't win for us, that's all. Just out of curiosity, what is the individual prize? Is it in addition to the members of the winning department? Oh yeah, the competition has 2 winners. The department whose project was chosen by the judges to be the best, and then the individual students who got the most votes from the audience. The individual student winner doesn't need to be in the winning department to win. They basically just get extra recognition and a rank boost. That could be useful. Too bad the competition is so fierce. The ranking boost sounds like it would be very interesting for me. And the department practice? The seniors kind of plan out a general idea to complete for the competition. Then it's up to you and your department to make it come to life. Kinda like a big brainstorming session. I see. Don't worry, Forrest. It really is a collaboration. Even if you're feeling lost, people will come over to help. Well, that makes me less worried. Thank you, guys. The entire competition is really fun. I only wish they were a bit better about making sure every student could shine. Aww. And focused on making it less of a popularity contest. It seems like they both have things that frustrate them about this competition. Not surprising. Big thing, you know. Tegan is beginning to slide on his headphones, and Ellie is turning back to her blueprints. I want to talk to... Obviously, always Ellie. Hey. I'm sure if you're frustrated, but maybe the whole point of the competition is to help us learn that we're stronger as a team than we are as individuals. It's really too bad we're not going to be able to see that death ray. I'm sure it's frustrating not being able to utilize your ideas. It's really too bad we're not going to be able to see that death ray. I'm sure it's that was an accident. Either way, it's not just about me and my ideas. Yeah, I know that the other one would have been good with you. I see so many ideas from people in my department thrown away just because they didn't fit neatly in with whatever everyone else wants to do. It's really a shame. And they're pushed aside and never given a proper chance to shine. They're hurt by their own peers just because of the competitive aspects of this event. I didn't mean to imply... No, I know. I shouldn't have assumed you meant it that way. Sorry, I was taking some of my frustrations out on you. I won't do it again. Just then the chatter died and Dr. Wu walked in. Oh, I haven't seen the sprites for the teachers yet. Like the last time I've seen the sprites, it was with the old art style. I like how she looks, along with Lady Arlington. That's definitely unusual. Alright everyone, settle down. I know you're all anxious about the competition, but our headmaster has a very important announcement. Thank you, Dr. Wu, for giving me a few minutes of your class time. She cleared her throat. Students, as you all know by now, Arlington Academy's annual department competition will begin tomorrow morning. In order to give you time to prepare for tonight's interview as well as tomorrow's activities, classes have been cancelled for today, effective immediately. Of course, this does not excuse you from homework and assignments due today. I trust your teachers will expect you to submit them regardless. That's absolutely right. Everyone, please submit your chemistry assignments on my desk before you leave the class. I heard a few groans around me. Clearly, some students had hoped that they could get the assignment's due date postponed. Furthermore, I've got some exciting news for this year's competition. As you all know, in the past, the competition was broadcasted to a small audience consisting of only special individuals with an interest in Arlington and its students. However, after some discussion with the school's board, we have concluded that it is in the school's best interest to widen its circle of influence and open itself up to the public. Therefore, this year's competition will be live-streamed to the general public. Instantly, gasps and whispers were held all over the classroom. Evidently, the reactions to the news were very mixed. It was definitely quite a shock to me. It was one thing to present a project to recruiters, but to the entire world? Potentially thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people? That changes the game by a lot. This clearly wasn't a showcasting competition anymore. This was the opportunity for us to get potential worldwide recognition. That's probably why Tadashi was so frantic this morning. Evidently, the school needed everyone to cooperate. Alright, students, settle down. I know this may seem like a controversial move to some of you. In fact, you are free to drop by my office and withdraw your participation form if this kind of event makes you uncomfortable. However, this was not a decision taken lightly. We have carefully weighted all of our options. Ultimately, the world around us is changing. Arlington Academy needs to adapt to it. We believe this is in your best interest as well. Rumors have been circulating last year about corruption and favoritism during the competition, and we will lay these rumors to rest by allowing the general public to vote on both the winning department and the individual student award. More whispers traveled across the room. Furthermore, we will be opening ourselves up to more opportunities for recruitment and sponsorships. I suggest you make the most out of this change and do your best. This year's competition will take more than just a collective project. Your teachers are not your sole judges anymore. The entire world is. You will have to be daring, demonstrate advanced skills, and think outside the box. I highly recommend not sticking to only what you know. Take some time and inspire yourself from other departments. Try to see how their point of view might help you reach your goals. Smart. That might not be a bad idea. If I can learn what other departments are doing, maybe I could give in some good ideas to help mine win the competition. Oh, and for the students in my department, please make sure to read the cases and documents I have emailed to you in preparation for this afternoon's practice. We will be meeting in classroom 1. Oh my god, that's so formal, okay. Oh my god. I wish you the best of luck, everyone. Lady Arlington left the class, and everyone automatically grabbed their bags and got up. Chatter exploded from everywhere as the higher stakes of this year's change hit everyone like a bucket of cold water. The energy in the room was panicked, excited, and overall intense. Notebooks were taken out immediately in order to start blueprints and planning. If Tadashi's announcement this morning had created waves of nervous energy, Lady A's announcement might as well have been a tsunami. This competition is stressing me out like crazy. I just don't feel ready for this at all. What are we supposed to do? Should I have had something prepared already for the department practice? Wait a second, right? Oh, okay. And Lady A mentioned that it's being live streamed to everyone this year, not just a few people. Man, I really need to find my department classmates to see what we have planned. I was lost in my thoughts thinking about the department competition, and before I knew it, almost everybody had left. People were already starting to file out of class, but I wanted to catch someone before everyone went to their respective departments to practice. Whatever we're supposed to be practicing. Hey, there's Alistar. He mentioned I could come to him for help, and since he's a scholarship student too, maybe he has some advice. Even if we are in different departments, I'm sure at least some of his experiences will be helpful to hear about. Hey, Alistar. Huh? Oh, hi Forrest, what's up? I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about this competition. I'm feeling a little lost. I need to get to the gym pretty soon. Walk with me? Yeah. Has a nice smile. Sure. For a second I thought he would say no. Walk Alistar to the gym. Yes, sir. Great. Okay, what are your questions? Where do I begin? Oh, I see. Are you just feeling a bit overwhelmed? Yeah. Don't worry. I was during my first time too. It's understandable. But the whole point is that it's a big team effort, so everyone in your department will be supporting you. Typically, the seniors are responsible for brainstorming ideas and managing everyone within the department, so you won't be without guidance. I mean, I'm just gonna romance everybody, so I don't need to prepare anything. That makes me feel better. But what if I let people down? What if I can't do whatever the seniors have planned? Oh my god, this is my anxiety speaking. Forrest. I don't know, I'm just so nervous. I have no idea what to expect. Well, no matter what the seniors have planned, just remember you have a team behind you supporting you. And I'll be supporting you too, okay? Aww. Aww. Stop. Stop. So did you have any other burning questions? I guess I'm mostly just wondering what you did to prepare. Well, a lot of it is pretty specific to athletics, but I suppose in general, it can be boiled down to just making sure I'm ready to perform. I personally do all my stretches and warm-ups beforehand and make sure I'm in the right mindset. Everyone has their own coping mechanisms and things they do to help them get their heads in the game. I think Tyler listens to music, Axel naps, Tadashi... Well, between you and me, Tadashi could be a bit better about handling his stress from the competition. But to be fair, he's as busy as one-legged man at an ass-kicking contest. I noticed this morning. It's funny, he seemed to slip into a bit of an accent near the end of the sentence. Maybe it's something he hears a lot at home. Oh, you don't know the half of it. I had to listen to him pitching a fit all morning. Sometimes I wonder if he wouldn't be better off just ditching the president job. He'd be a lot happier. Probably, yeah. I wouldn't want such a function if I were to be at school. I used to want to be part of like student council, and then when I joined it at university, I ran away after like 2 months of being part of it because that's way too much work for me and way too much stress. So at least I made a good decision there. Anyways, and you wouldn't have to listen to him complain. That too. But let's get back to the topic at hand. I'd say ultimately you should do what works for you. I'm sure you know yourself best. I should have thought of that. It's pretty obvious. Sorry, Al. No worries. I'm just confirming what you probably already knew. No shame in wanting confirmation. Anything else? Nothing comes to mind. Oh well, we're at the gym anyway, so I'd better run. Thanks, Alistar. I appreciate it. I feel a bit better now. Like I said, no worries. Oh, actually, I do have advice. Before this whole shiting starts, go to the bathroom. It lasts a long time, and the teachers get mad if too many students ask to get up in the middle of performances. I'll definitely remember that. Make sure you do. Well, good luck, Forrest. See you. See you. Good luck to you too. Okay. My talk with Alistar definitely calmed me down a little. I feel like I have enough information to start understanding this whole thing. So, from what I've gathered so far, tonight will be the interviews. I guess I should expect the unexpected when it comes to what questions they're going to ask me. I'll find some calm place to prepare for it. Lady A also mentioned the possibility of looking around other departments to get inspiration for the competition. Maybe I could do some of that too. Since the seniors will be doing most of the planning, I should at least try to contribute in some ideas. Maybe it's worth spending the time investigating before going to my department practice. Alright, Forrest, time to do some slaughtering. Slaughtering? How? Sleuthing? I have no idea how to read this. Find out what the other departments are planning to do for the competition. Okay. Sleuthing? I have no idea what this word is. Nope. Art? Aha! Oh, hey, the art room. I might be able to catch a sneak peek of something in there. Then again, practice hasn't officially started yet. I might not be able to see anything. No harm in checking it out. This room is something else. You could open a museum with all of this stuff. Well, hello. Lovely to have you joining us. Huh? Welcome to the art room. And who are you? I'm Forrest. Well, it's lovely to have you. I am Mr. Boss, the fine arts director here and the art teacher. Is it like an allusion to Bob Ross? Boss? Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm not in the fine arts department. I'm just looking around. Strange to find you here for the first time when the competition is just about to begin. No, I'm not here to... I mean, Lady Arlington suggested for us to meet with other students and find new inspirations. I can't say I disagree with our dear lady. That is just fine. We are quite proud of our works and we have nothing to hide. Take your time here. It's good for young people to be exposed to art, even if it's not their interest. And who knows, maybe we can inspire you enough to get you to change it to our department. We are always open to new perspectives here. His eyes seemed to twinkle with mischief. I don't see myself changing my department, but it doesn't hurt to learn more. Have you ever taken an art class? If not, I hope you find time to fit one in during your time here at Arlington. I'd probably get to it at some point. Hey Forrest, what you doing here? Oh, Tyler, you're acquainted with the students? Yeah, Forrest is in my grade. Wonderful. Why don't you show your friend around the room then? Sure, okay. Forrest? Mr. Boss walked back to his desk and gave us a little wave. At that, Tyler began leading me around the room, talking about some of the paintings. I stopped at one that looked particularly grand. Ah, that's one of Mr. Boss. He calls it Happy Little Flowers. Okay, yeah, Bob Ross. Okay. Happy little trees! Okay. It is an allusion to Bob Ross, okay. Isn't he good? He has tons of variety. I just stared at the painting. It really was pretty. Tyler continued leading me around the room after a while. We eventually made it around the whole room. Well, Forrest, you'd better go. Don't want you to be late. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I waved goodbye to Tyler and headed out the door. Best of luck, Forrest. Awesome. Something cafeteria. Oh! I spotted Claire on one of the cafeteria tables with a couple of notebooks in front of her. She seems to be copying the contents of one notebook to the other. I couldn't help but be mesmerized by how neat her notes were. She color-coded all the headlines, underlined some key terms, and even made cute diagrams. I mean, yeah, that's probably a good way to study. I do a similar thing at university, so... She has my approval. Oh, Forrest, did you need to see my science notes? I could make you a copy later if you want help on something. Oh, she's so sweet. Oh no, Claire, I was just walking by. Oops, how embarrassing. I didn't mean to get caught staring. Are you planning on transferring all those notes into the other notebook? I'm not sure if I can get everything copied before the competition starts, but at least the most relevant topics from our textbook. Damn. Last year, the Department of Health Sciences and Biology really loved using my notes as reference for the competition. I hope by making 2 notebooks I can help the department while holding onto my own notes. Why not just take a picture of your notes with your phone? Then you can text the pictures to the rest of the department members before the competition. You're right. Raquel is always reminding me to use my phone for more than just phone calls. But I guess I always felt comfortable writing things out. And she's such a cutie. There's nothing wrong with preferring handwritten notes. Honestly, I think it's rather cute. Oh yeah, it is. And who wouldn't want to read your notes anyway? Yours are so organized and beautiful. Claire suddenly blushed. Did I just embarrass her? Thank you, Forrest. Well, now that you've made me realize, I can just send pictures of my notes to my classmates. I don't know if I should keep copying my notes. There's still some time until the department's practice starts. Do you want to join me in spying on all departments? I'm not sure you'll get much information by doing that. Some teachers are notoriously secretive. It doesn't hurt to try. You'd have better luck talking to a senior student. They tend to get very excited about the competition since they take over nearly all preparations. Well, I don't know any seniors aside from Serena and Andy, and I'm not about to strike a conversation with a stranger in the hallway either. Well, how about you, Claire? How are you preparing for the competition? Me? Why, I love getting to work on a common project with my department. I can't say that I enjoy the more flamboyant aspects of the competition, so I usually focus on staying calm and focused. I meditate sometimes. I'm not sure I'm up for some meditation. The competition stresses you out? I'm not too fond of the interview portion. Oh, right, the interview is today. Yikes, I have to share your sentiment here. I don't think I'm ready at all for it. I don't really know what to expect. It's stressful, but it should be fine. You're not as shy as me, so... You would be surprised, okay? Claire looked a little sad at those words, averting my gaze. You know, you could turn your weaknesses into a strength. I know it must be hard for you to struggle with your shyness, but I'd say that there's something endearing to it. You don't have to be a superstar during the interview, but since we have actual people from all over the world voting for you, I'm pretty sure a lot of them will find your personality charming. True, she's adorable. Claire seems embarrassed, but happy at my words. You're the best, Forrest. I don't think so, but I'm glad I could make you feel better. I appreciate it. I'm going to head to the lab. I want to help Dr. Wu out before the department practice. Good luck with your interview, Forrest. Thanks, Claire. You too. I adore her. She's adorable. Oh! This is where the performing arts students are practicing. This might be interesting to see. After all, the department is definitely accustomed to putting on big events. Then again, I don't want to disrupt them if they're practicing. I doubt that it would make me any friends. True. I'll just take a quick look around. Practice isn't supposed to start for a while anyway. I enter quietly. Wow. There are really people everywhere. They seem to just be talking for now though. That's good. Hey, there is Dr. Kim. Oh? Looks like they spotted me. Better go over. I don't want them to think that I'm spying. Even though that is what I'm doing. Hi, Dr. Kim. I was just looking around. Lady A suggested we try to draw inspiration from other department students. That's certainly an admirable plan. You're free to talk to some of the students in the meantime, before the practice starts. But after that, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave, since you're not in the department. You're a new student this year, correct? Yes, I'm a transfer. I remember you from the music class roster for this year. I know this first few weeks haven't involved much actual content, but once the competition concludes, the year will begin in earnest. I look forward to tracking your growth. Do they have a tattoo on the finger, like here? Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They nodded and turned away from me. Oh, by the way, they are not looking up from their papers, but they seem to be smiling a bit. Yes? You're welcome to ask my students what our plans for the competitions are, but I wouldn't expect anything. My students are notoriously tight-lipped, as they should be. You might have better luck trying the gym or the art room. Mr. Davis' bunch has never been particularly secretive about their plans, and it's relatively difficult to hide a mural. I never expected the department heads to be throwing shade at their co-workers. Apparently this competition is a bigger deal than I thought. Thanks for the tip. I turned away and looked at the students. I don't see Axel around yet, and I don't think I'm really gonna learn anything from a student I don't know. I'd better go somewhere else. Alright. Raquel was doing some warm-ups in the gym. Hey Raquel, I didn't see you in class this morning. Class? Who is that? I don't know them. Oh my god, she's so relatable. Oh my gosh. Ah, I see you ditched. You can't blame me, Forrest. I would have been useless in the classroom when the competition is tomorrow. My energy is better spent here. That's valid. You gave your form to Tadashi yet? Are you kidding me? I emailed it to him like 20 minutes after he woke up all up this morning. Which, by the way, was a major dick move. But it doesn't matter. I'm ready for us. So freaking ready. I live for this competition. I can see that. I don't know what else I expected from Raquel. I mean, she is very cool. Ooh, Forrest, you have to stop inflating my ego like this. I gotta keep my head in the game. Hey, I wanna speak the truth. Your enthusiasm really helps me though. I've been trying my hardest to wrap my head around this whole competition thing. The whole concept is kind of weird to me. Being watched by potentially tens of thousands of people and competing under pressure for the higher-ups is... Wait, what? Raquel had interrupted me mid-sentence. Well, it's a pretty intense competition? No, hold up. What do you mean by tens of thousands of people? There's only a few hundred rich people approved by the Academy watching, right? No? Didn't you hear about Lady Arlington's announcement? This year's competition is going to be live streamed to the public. Tadashi sent out an email an hour ago too. Raquel looked at me as if she had just seen a ghost. All traces of her excitement had been replaced by what seemed to be pure terror. Was Raquel nervous in front of the camera? Ooh. No, that doesn't make sense. She's the captain of the soccer team, and she should be used to competing in front of large amounts of people. She rushed to grab her phone, scrolling down what seemed to be her email box. She froze as she read the email, her eyes wide. Oh god, no. No. Shit. Raquel? I'm sorry, Forrest, gotta bounce. Raquel darted out of the gym, abandoning her workout completely. Judging by how fast she ran away, this must have been something important. Raquel doesn't seem like someone who freaks out easily either. I wonder what made her so panicked. Hopefully she'll be okay for the competition. Okay, it's lunchtime, and this classroom is usually not as busy as the other ones are during our break. I should be able to get some preparations done before tonight's interview. I entered the room swiftly, only to spot Carolina at the back. It looks like she isn't alone. There are two boys with her. From the looks of it, it doesn't seem like Carolina is enjoying their presence. I ducked out of view and watched from the doorframe. Hey, Carolina, don't you think calculus is a little too complex for that brain of yours? Holy shit. I beg your pardon? Your homework. I know you're in the silver tier and all, but are you sure you can handle it? Or would you like me to help you out? Come on, man. We both know she pulled some strings to get this high up the school rankings. No fashionista bimbo gets into the silver tier without, kissing up to the right people. You know how cozy she tries to get with that rich bastard of a student body president. Oh, she pissed. I don't think I've ever seen Carolina so livid. She looks like she's about to rip their heads off solely with the sheer energy coming off her glare. The two boys, however, only seemed even more amused by her anger. Ooh. Tadashi? Nah, no way. He's clearly not interested in the dumb model type. But I bet having a coding nerd as a brother helps, right, Carolina? Oh gee, oh my God, this is absolutely insane and repulsive. I know what you're trying to do, gentlemen. Well, I invented this intimidation tactic. If this is what you need to do in order to feel better, then by all means, knock yourself out. But haven't you heard? The department competition is going to be live streamed to the public this year. That means that if some damn model type ends up crushing you and your department tomorrow, then everybody will be able to see just how incompetent you are. Your friends, your family back at home, that particular CEO you wanted to impress, everyone. You wouldn't want to lose to the resident bimbo now, would you? The calm song-like tone of her voice sent shivers down my spine. Despite Carolina's general attitude towards me, I was definitely rooting for her in this situation. And judging by the boys' stoned faces, it looks like she was winning. Well, Carolina, my offer still stands. If you need some help with your homework, I'll lend you a hand. If you don't mind giving me a private photo shoot. I didn't think it could get any worse, and yet it did. Carolina, however, didn't look too offended. She flashed a smile at them, though I could practically feel the murderous intent slipping through her demeanor. Actually, I think I might need your help. Oh boy, why do I get the feeling that this is going to be a massacre? Carolina walked up to the board with her textbook in hand and picked up a piece of chalk. You see, I've almost finished my homework, but I'm having a bit of trouble with the last problem assigned. You know, the challenging one worth extra credits? She wrote down the problem on the board. Could you help me find the limit of this as x goes to -5? A few seconds passed, and I watched as the boys went up to the board, attempting to solve the problem. They took several minutes, scratching their heads to reach an answer. I think the answer is x equals 0.5? What? No way, man. The answer is 2. Hell nah, you're tripping. See, actually, she proceeded to solve the problem on the board flawlessly. As you can see, the limit does not exist. Just like your chances of winning this competition, apparently. Yeah, right. You probably pulled that out of your ass. Check the solutions if you don't believe me. The boys opened up the solutions given online by Miss Rodriguez on their phone. They stood there in stunned silence. I believe you have some brushing up on your skills to do before the competition. Better get going. The boys gave her a dirty look before heading towards the door when I was standing. Why are you staring at, loser? Oh, nothing. Probably just the biggest murder ever witnessed by man. Excuse me? You should have known better. I've been here for less than a month and I already know not to mess with Carolina. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, are you? They stare at me stunned. It's okay. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say will probably be dumb anyway. I knew I was getting a little carried away, but I couldn't help but be frustrated at how they treated Carolina. Dude, just screw that shit. Let it go. The two guys walked away from us, their frustrated sounds echoing in the hall. Carolina looked at me with wide eyes. I don't think she expected me to drop those comebacks on her bullies. I'm not going to lie, despite her nasty attitude towards me in general, I couldn't help but to take her side. She didn't deserve to be treated like this. Exactly. I would have destroyed them in real life if that happened in real life too. I felt that. I gave her a small smile out of goodwill. She didn't smile back, but she didn't look angry either. I think she appreciated it. We gave each other one last look before I decided to leave her alone and find another place to prepare for the competition. I have no idea where to go. Here's the health science classroom and laboratory. This is where I have my chemistry classes. But maybe I shouldn't be in the way of the department practice session. They could be working on experiments right now. That's not nice. Okay, I see a typo again. Yay! I feel awkward putting on my safety gear. I'll pass. No harm in checking this place out. I can put on my safety gear if needed. I stepped into the room to the smell of soap and citrus entering my nose. It seems someone had just wiped down the laptop tables. I see a few students huddled around one of the tables. They seem to be discussing a large diagram laid before them. It doesn't seem anyone has their safety gear on right now. Maybe they're waiting for practice to begin? I don't suppose you are here to ask about your chemistry homework, Forrest? Oh, Dr. Wu. She disappeared out of nowhere. I didn't realize you were here. Lady Arlington suggested to us to visit other departments. She told us to try finding new inspiration for the competition. Oh, right. She suggested for all the students to visit each other's departments. Right, so I thought refreshing my knowledge of science would help me get inspired. Well, that's quite alright. I was looking for a new test subject anyway. The competition is close and I can't afford to lose one of my own department's students. Lose? She's joking, right? How intense are the competitions? Why, of course. After all, biology is all about living organisms. There are countless experiments to try out. Don't worry, Forrest. Dr. Wu is just teasing. Am I now, Claire? It's been a few years since the health sciences and biology department has won the competition. Maybe it's time for more drastic measures. Dr. Wu! I'm just kidding. Winning is not everything, Dr. Wu. I'm looking forward to learning from this year's competition more than anything. Claire, we've talked about this. You need to put your foot forward in these kinds of events. It's your opportunity to shine. You have such a brilliant mind. I'll try. Aww. Claire was definitely close to her department leader. I wonder if I'll ever get this close with mine. In any case, I should move on. I'll doubt I'll get much information from Dr. Wu. Oh, there we go. Raquel, you cannot be serious right now. Please just tell me that this is a prank, please. Listen, I know it's messed up. Messed up? I have so many questions right now, starting by how the hell did you manage to pull it off for this long? Is that really important right now? If they find out, I'm so screwed. I'd really like to help you, but holy shit, do you even realize what you've done? The amount of steps required to take to even begin to get you out of this shit is just... Raquel, the interviews start tonight. There's no way I can help you now. Tadashi, Raquel took a deep breath. I'm begging you, Tadashi. You have to help me with this. If there's anybody that can do it, it's you. Tadashi hesitated for several long seconds, running his fingers through his hair. Then he let out a deep, frustrated sigh. God damn it. Alright, listen. I might have an idea. Tegan does owe me a favor from last year, so maybe with his help, and if I delay things with Lady Arlington, and if we ask Nia, Ellie, and Axel... Thank you so much. Yeah, don't get used to it. You owe me big time. And honestly, it's going to be a miracle if this plan works. Alright, let's get going. What was that about? Obviously it has to do with Raquel's situation earlier at the gym, but... I didn't think it would be this big? Oh god, they're walking this way. I really don't want to have to explain why I was eavesdropping. I better find a place to hide fast. I scrambled behind one of the brick walls by the entrance to the patio, only to find someone else there. We had to cover our mouths to muffle ourselves from screaming. Tyler? What are you doing? Shh. We saw Tadashi and Raquel walk out of the cafeteria rushing towards the school. Tyler and I waited a few more seconds before daring to speak again. So, Forrest, what are you doing here? I think I asked you first. I came to grab something sweet to eat from the cafeteria. I can get burned out pretty easily sometimes, and I need sugar to help me concentrate. When suddenly, I hear Raquel and Tadashi having a very private conversation in a not-so-private location. Do you know what they were talking about? I've never seen Raquel look so frantic. Me neither. But I only just got here a minute ago, so I can't say I know much more than you do. In any case, she will probably tell us when she wants to. I think this year's competition has gotten a lot of us rather frantic. Even you? I've always seen you active on social media. I didn't think you would have stage fright. No, I'm used to being on camera and I'm really excited to talk in front of the public. Oh, in that case you must already know what you will say for your interview. Well, I'm not sure I can say that I know already, but I'm much more prepared for the interview this time. Last year, I got so passionate about the question I was asked that I gave a long monologue on Dadaism and how it takes to my favorite memes. I don't think I ended up impressing some of the old judges though. I must have been giving him a strange look because he burst out laughing. Oh, but you should have seen Tegan. He was so nervous that he kept stumbling over his words and he could barely hear his voice. Ellie was having the hardest time keeping a straight face when we were being interviewed. No, better not to joke around during an interview. Maybe I should talk about memes during my interview. Or do you want to practice for our interviews together? Wait, really? After what I just told you, you want to practice your interview with me? Of course. I think you're more perceptive than you tend to let on sometimes. And I know I can learn a lot from you. I'm not sure what I can teach you, Forrest. I think you're already a natural charmer. Aww. Unfortunately, I don't even have the time to practice my own interview, but I will give you some advice. I'd say the best thing you can do is to be passionate. Don't get carried away, of course, but don't forget why you came to this academy in the first place. Take some time to think about what being at Arlington Academy means to you. I wonder what being at Arlington Academy means to him. Department's competition or not, I'm glad you seem passionate about your field of interest. I can see your passion and hard work is paying off. You've already made it into the bronze tier. I mean, there are over 1,000 students in the school, right? To be in the top 100 students is quite an achievement. You know, sometimes I really wonder about that. His expression turned sour for a moment. Tyler? Oh. Sorry, Forrest, it's time to get back to the art classroom. The fine arts department can't do without the Williams prodigy after all. Tyler went to the cafe and bagged about 5 assorted pastries before giving me a small salute and exiting the cafeteria. I'm not sure what's up with him, but in any case, I don't think I have the time to dwell on this for too long. Back to preparing for the competition. Isn't this where the fashion department is practicing? Oh yeah, they don't have a classroom yet. Such. Maybe I can check out how they are preparing for the competition. And yet, I'm not sure what Carolina would say if she caught me spying here. Whatever, she can stop me from learning more about the department. That's the spirit, scholar. There are many rolls of clothes and tools lying around on the tables. I wonder how the fashion department students find what they need in this chaos. I swerved around to avoid a pair of shears on one of the tables before bumping into the student. I'm sorry. Oh, this is actually a mannequin. I should probably leave before I get too lost. I don't remember my mannequin speaking. I saw Miss Khan glance at me from behind a rack of coats before approaching. You aren't in my department. I don't remember seeing you in my workshops. She didn't seem upset. She was rather curious, but I couldn't help but feel like she was observing me. Yes, I'm not in the fashion department. Lady Arlington suggested for us to explore the other departments and find new inspirations. I'm Forrest. Pleased to meet you, Forrest. You must be the new scholarship students I've been hearing about. I trust you have already met a couple of my students. You're free to look around for some time if you want. However, many of my students are competitive and secretive about their projects, even among their peers. There is no guarantee they will share what they are working on. All I request is that you respect their privacy. Oh yes, of course. My thoughts immediately went to Nia. The competition must be really important for her business. I wonder what she would do for the presentation. I felt a small knot form in my stomach. The room was empty except for Miss Khan and I, and yet I couldn't help but feel out of place. I stay out of your way then. From the state of this room, I can tell everyone is busy. The room usually looks like this. The students have their own unique organization system. That and their own code of conduct when it comes to sharing tools. Friendly competition is always good to help you improve, but a strong team will not make a strong presentation if the team members don't work well together. That is something I wish a few of my students would remember more often. I feel like you are simply encouraging me to return to my own department. I wouldn't turn away a curious mind, but I wouldn't to be late to your own department's practice session, especially since this is your first competition. I'll keep your advice in mind, Miss Khan. I'll be going now. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for talking to me. Good luck with your presentation for us. I like her. Alright, folks. That's the situation we're dealing with. Due to how speechless everybody looked, I judged it best not to intervene. God, I feel like such a snoop today. Being nosy isn't usually like me. But I can't help but wonder what's going on with Raquel. Well, judging by your silence, I'm going to assume that nobody has any questions, so here's the distribution of roles. Tigan, from my knowledge, the livestream is foolproof against any recordings of any kind and the school's AI team tracks down any re-uploads on the web, is that right? Sounds about right. I'll have to triple check. Alright, assuming that assumption is correct, we're going to need you to hack through that to make sure we can upload the alternate livestream. Think you can handle it? It might take me a few hours, but it's doable. Perfect. Ellie and Axel, you're in charge of preparing the alternate livestream. You're going to have to work fast. Gotcha. Hey, Tada Shades, and the way you can get us exclusive access to the perimeter after the activities are over? Call me that one more time. I dare you. And yes, I'll find a way. Nia, I need you to prepare the props and costumes. I expect the funds to be deposited in my account by the end of tomorrow, or I'm out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Consider it done. I also charge interest rates of 25% for every day you're late, so... Nia, you're good, don't worry. I still can't believe I'm agreeing to this. Your services are much appreciated. Alright, any last comments before we get to work? Raquel? That must be the craziest thing I have ever seen happen at Arlington so far. Even if it was risky, I don't regret it one bit. It sucks that Tadashi had to find out about it today. It would have been priceless to see the look on everybody's faces at graduation. Wait a second. Axel, you knew? Of course I did. Who do you think helped her convince my boy T over here to mess with the records? Thigan? You were in on it? Please don't get me expelled. Tadashi groaned and buried his face into his hands. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Alright, I'll get to convincing Lady Arlington to delay the interviews so that we can set everything up. I know this is extremely last minute, so I'd like to thank you all for your help. You guys are truly saving my ass. I don't know what I'd do if I had to do this alone. It's no biggie. It's definitely an entertaining situation. I always got your back, Raquel. Everybody, including Nia, gathered around Raquel and gave her encouraging words. I never really realized how supportive they all were. Some of them might not be close friends, but to have each other's back like that, it makes me wish I was part of such a team. That's enough for us. Now is not the time to remember that you're a friendless wimp. You gotta focus on the competition. Okay. This might be interesting to see. I'm sure whatever the athletics department doing is intense. Then again, Alistar already told me what goes on to an extent, and since practice hasn't started yet, it's probably just stretches right now. Besides, Coach Davis can be intense. I just take a quick look around. I've still got time, and it's not as if the gym isn't big enough to hold one more person. I enter the gym. As expected, there are people scattered around, but no one seems to be doing anything too serious yet. Most people are just sitting on the bleachers. Hey, get down from there! Startled, I turned to face the booming voice. He was looking at the bleachers, yelling at some other students. He must not be in a very good mood. Maybe I'll just leave. Forrest? Uh-oh. What are you doing here? This isn't your department. Well, Lady Arlington recommended we walk around, try to see what other departments are doing for inspiration. I don't think he's buying it. Well, it's certainly admirable of you. I'm glad you recognize there's much to be learned from the athletes in terms of discipline and tenacity. As you can see though, we haven't yet begun. If you were to wait here to see what we have planned, you would be late for your own practice. So while I very much doubt you seeing what we have planned would give you an advantage, I can't condone you staying as a teacher. Besides, judging from the results of your fitness test, I would say you already have a degree of self-discipline, unlike some of your peers. I have a few guesses about who he might be referring to. Deacon? Tyler? Right, thanks. Coach D nodded and walked away. Guess that was a pretty clear dismissal. I'd better go somewhere else. Is that everybody, or do we have to see one more? Oh, as I entered the hallway, I noticed Nia at the very far back. She seemed to be writing something on her sketchbook in a rush. It would be cool to talk to her and get her opinion on the competition, especially since it's rare to find her alone without Carolina around. But I don't want to bother her. She seems so focused on what she's doing. Yeah, it's best to not bother her. I don't think she'd want to talk to me anywhere. I was about to turn around and leave when Nia's gaze left her sketchbook and looked into my direction. Do you need something, Forrest? Oh, sorry, it wasn't my intention to bother you. I see. She returned her attention to the sketchbook and started writing again. She never stops, does she? You must really like clothes, huh? Nia abruptly stopped what she was doing and angrily looked at me. I'm not a big fan of your mock sarcasm, Forrest. Whoa, sorry. I was just trying to say that you seem to have a pretty big passion for fashion. I didn't mean for it to sound like I was being sarcastic. Oh. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were trying to imply something else. Never mind. But yes, I do adore creating clothes. Aww. That smile. Nia's genuine smile was enough to make me understand how important this was to her. It must not be easy to run a business and still be top 5th in the whole academy. And now with the competition, that's quite a workload. It's a question of time management. Still, it must take quite a toll on you. It can be tiresome, but one must keep going. There is no room for failure. I noticed how she tightened her grip on the pencil. She's talking about herself, isn't she? You know, maybe you can go with this. I think that's the smart way to say it. You know, sometimes failure isn't that bad. It can indeed suck and look like the end of the world, but it helps you become stronger and fight back. As long as you don't give up, not even failure can go against you. Well, Forrest, sometimes one simply doesn't have the luxury to let themselves actually fail. Right. I could see that Nia didn't want to talk about this much longer. It's better to change topics. So, what are you working on? Your next collection? Yes, I'm just writing down some ideas for now. Oh, I see. Seriously, Forrest? Couldn't you come up with something better to talk about? You already knew that Nia wouldn't just tell you anything about her projects. My social skills are degrading. As I tried to come up with something else to say, Nia's phone suddenly rang. She picked her phone up and turned off the alarm. It's almost time. Nia closed her sketchbook and walked away from the hallway, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I just hope that whatever is bothering her will be solved soon. She seemed so stressed out. Nia appears to be the type of person who holds everything for herself and doesn't share her troubles with others. It might have not been a long talk, but I think I was able to understand Nia a little more than before. I hope we can talk more in the future. Oh, this looks like where the Business, Commerce and Politics department is going to be practicing. Everybody looks frantic. There are papers everywhere. Lady Arlington looks quite busy as well. The students in this department aren't known for being very friendly or forgiving. I don't know how they'll react if they caught me spying. Then again, they could be planning something big. I should try to get some information. Upon making my way further into the classroom, I noticed right away that the atmosphere was different from the other department pre-practices. The practice hadn't started, but people were already coordinating with each other, assigning potential roles, and making sure all of the papers were in place. The Business, Commerce and Politics departments was the largest in the school and hosted people from very different backgrounds and skills. It must be hard to create one single project to showcase everyone's unique abilities. Hello there. Are you visiting us to find some inspiration? Oh, hi, Lady Arlington. Yes, actually, I'm trying to take your advice and see how other departments are preparing for the competition. Maybe I'll be able to propose something new to mine. Well, I'm glad. Though, as you can see, you might not be able to speak to any one of my students right now. I've given them quite a significant amount of work to prepare. Miss Arlington, I've coordinated the economics and psychology students. They should be ready to deal with the data presented in the case studies you've sent us. Splendid. Good work, Tadashi. Case studies? Oh, I might be getting some information after all. Ah, yes. Well, unlike my colleagues who tend to keep their projects secret, I believe in full transparency. My department will be solving university-level multidisciplinary cases written specifically for us by the London School of Economics and Political Science and the Harvard Business Review. Damn! Wow, no wonder everyone here is freaking out. Our department has quite a good track record of wins, so I'm not too scared of letting the rest of the school know what our plans are. You seem very confident in your students. There is no reason why I shouldn't be. I have trained them well. I like her. Despite her aura of mystery, I had to admit that everything Lady A did gave me confidence in her leadership skills. It was clear why she was the headmaster. In any case, I don't think I caught your name before. Oh, my name is Forrest. Forrest. Well, it was nice to chat with you, but my students are going to need me soon. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. Guess that was a pretty clear dismissal. As I walked out of the classroom, I couldn't help but feel like someone was watching me. I wasn't sure who it was, but I decided not to try to find out. The department practices were going to start soon. No time to waste. Alright, objective complete! Woo! Alright, looks like I've pretty much visited all of the other departments. I can't say I've learned much about their plans. I'm not exactly sure what to do for my own practice. Wait, my department practice, oh my gosh, it's already the end of lunchtime. The practice is going to start at any moment now. I need to get going. It would be super embarrassing to show up late. Okay. I made it to the lab just in time to take my seat at my bench. Some people are working at the computers, but for the most part people seem to just be conversing. There's Tegan. He looks like he's pretty involved in whatever he's doing. Better not bother him. Oh, looks like Ellie is talking to someone too. I'll catch up with her later. We waited a few more minutes before Miss Lee stood and clicked the light switches a couple of times to get our attention. Wait, to get attention. Oh my gosh, she looks so pretty. Hello students, welcome to the competition kickoff meeting. She reminds me of Ellie, but older. like basically Ellie, but older. I won't waste any time on a motivational or introductory speech. We have our lovely headmistress for that. So without further ado, our seniors have been kind enough to go through our extensive collection of robots, programs, materials, and resources, and have sorted them according to function. They have also planned a few potential plans that utilize many of these items. So here I have a short slide deck that goes over each. After I go through the slides once, I will allow all of you to discuss among yourselves which of the plans you will pursue as a department and which materials you will need. Let's get started. Miss Lee went through the slide deck quickly. Some of the plans the senior had laid out included programming light shows, adapting some of the drones we had on hand to do a show, doing a sound demonstration using PVC pipes and synths. There sure was a lot of variety. It's too bad we can't get to all of them. That would really be something else. Alright, now discuss among yourselves. I suggest only spending 15 to 20 minutes deciding. People immediately converged to the middle of the room. Everyone was getting involved in the discussion, even Tegan. Eventually became pretty clear that some people were split in terms of what they wanted to do. The people interested in hardware preferred using our machines. Programmers wanted to do a code demo. Physics students wanted to work with waves or lights. Seems like every idea the seniors laid out doesn't fairly showcase every skill. As I thought, it really would be best if we tried to do everything. But then again, if we try to combine the ideas, they probably won't be as complex or impressive. Doing that could cost us any chance we have of winning as a department. Not to mention, it would drastically increase the workload. Okay, let's see. I don't think it's possible to combine the ideas without sacrificing some of the sensationalism, and ultimately we need to focus on winning. Or, it's not fair to ask some people to sit on the sidelines. Everyone should be able to contribute a fair share and be featured equally. I really like the second idea, to be frank. So, I'll raise this to the group. Ultimately, the worst thing they can say is no. Everyone. No one's listening. Hey! Everyone turned to me at once. Better make this good. Why don't we try to combine everyone's favorite aspects of each project? Let's just do multiple things. You want us to do everything? Do you have any idea how hard it will be to combine everything into something presentable? Listen, I know it will be extra work, but if we do a variety of things instead of focusing on just one concentration we have, not only will we showcase how diverse our department's skill set is, but we will also be giving everyone a chance to shine, not just the people each project focuses on. I know it's risky, there is no guarantee we'll be able to pull everything off smoothly, but hell, if any department can do it, surely it's ours. Everyone seemed to pause, considering my suggestion. Eventually, the seniors seemed to take over. Alright, if we're combining the ideas, let's make the following changes. We settled on a new plan. It didn't feature as many complex parts as the previous plans, but it gave everyone in the department a good chunk of responsibilities and gave everyone a chance to shine. We all worked tirelessly for hours on end. Some people were busier than others, and ultimately everyone contributed something. By the end of it all, I was exhausted. Ellie and Tegan seemed to be responsible for an awful lot. I hope they get enough rest tonight. Alright everyone, that's all the time you have today. I have to say, I'm really proud of the progress you've made this far. I have a good feeling out of this year. I need to leave so I can prepare for the interviews, and I'd be remiss not to suggest you all do the same. Please also remember to get to the classroom by 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'd hate for you to not finish the presentation due to your own or another student's inability to set an alarm. Good luck! See you all tomorrow. And with that, everybody started making their way out of the lab, whispering about the interviews. I should really practice for the interview. But first, I gotta find a quiet place to gather my thoughts. Do we go to the garden or maybe... I mean, this sounds like a good place to find your thoughts. Alright, seems like the garden is relatively empty. I should be able to focus. But what exactly can I do to prepare for this interview? I don't even know what questions to expect. Is this going to be like a job interview where they'll ask me about what my plans are for the next few years? Or is it going to be full of curveballs and random questions meant to throw me off? I really should have asked someone about it. I really just have 1 hour to prepare for the interview too. I pulled out my phone and searched up common interview questions on Google. I love the name changes. Why should we hire you? What do you know about the company? What is your greatest weakness? Yeah, I really don't think those are going to help me, but thanks anyway, Google. There is no point in practicing anything concrete. I should just focus on keeping it together. I closed my eyes and allowed myself to rest a little. It felt like I was finally having a moment to decompress. The time for the interview came, and I sat up and made my way to where everyone was headed. It's time for the interview! If I remember correctly, it's going to be in the cafeteria, so... Let's go! Oh! It has changed! I arrived at the auditorium. Cameras and equipment had completely changed the feel of this place. The nervous energy in the air was almost overwhelming. Everybody seemed hyper-focused to the point of completely spacing out. Tadashi cleared his throat, snapping everybody out of the trance. Alright everyone, we'll be going live in about 5 minutes. Lady Arlington will introduce you and your file. Then she will call your name and this will be your cue to take a seat and go join her in front of the camera. Then it's your time to shine. The order will be based on your academic rank, therefore I will be going first, then Tegan and so on. For those without a rank yet, you will be the last ones to pass. If any of you need my help or any last minute businesses, please ask me right now. I'll do my best to make sure you're good to go. If you're all set, then let me wish you the best of luck. You're going to need it. Tadashi gave us one final nod, plugged in his earphones and dove into his notes. Lady Arlington walked past us, a serious expression on her face. She looked very focused. Her eyes met mine for a second. She had this look in her eyes, something I couldn't quite decipher. She looked away and took a seat right in the middle of the stage, making sure to face the seat that was placed for the student being interviewed. The rest of the department heads followed, taking their seats right behind her. Put together, the leaders of Arlington Academy looked extremely intimidating. The dynamic felt completely different from meeting them individually. I'm willing to bet that they make up quite a formidable team. To think that these are the people who will be interviewing me. I felt a bout of pressure building in my stomach and my whole body felt tense. This is it. It's really going to happen. I'm going to get interviewed in front of hundreds of thousands of people. My eyes went wide and I felt like I couldn't breathe anymore. Oh my god, I can't do this. I started to panic. Then I felt a hand on my shoulder. I looked up and Axel gave me a soft look. You can't do this. Axel. This interview is to show the world who you are. The people that are watching are going to be judging you, sure, but at the end of the day, all you can do is offer the best of yourself. You won't ever be able to impress everyone, just the ones that matter. Aw. You already have it within you, Forrest. Trust in yourself. Dude, he's such a good friend. I felt some of the tension in my body release. Thanks, Axel. He gave me a small smile. It's a little unsettling to see you so inspirational. You're usually so nonchalant. And this isn't my first rodeo. But I do remember how I felt when it was my first. You have nothing prepared for this one though, right? Absolutely nothing. Now that's more like the Axel I know. The lighting suddenly changed and all attention was focused on Lady Arlington and the department's heads. I heard the cameraman and directors count down and the technicians making their final equipment checks. And before I knew it, we were live. I wonder if Dad is watching right now. I hope I can make him proud. Good evening and welcome to Arlington Academy's 20th annual department competition. I am Lady Amelia Arlington, President and Dean of Arlington Academy, as well as the head of the Business, Commerce and Politics Department. I will be acting as your host and as main judge for the competition. My esteemed colleagues and I are honored to have you as our audience for tonight. For the first time in our history, the competition will be broadcasted to the world. We believe it is finally time to show you all the excellence that stems from our educational program. Hopefully, by the end of the competition, you will be inspired to reach out to us, whether it is to apply to become one of us, or to recruit, mentor, or sponsor one of our students. Whatever the case may be, we deeply appreciate your interest in the Academy, and we will be opening the floor to audience questions after the interviews. All of the students that you will meet throughout this competition have demonstrated talent and intelligence beyond the normal. Arlington students accept nothing but the best of themselves. If you feel so inclined, you may register on the competition's website in order to cast your audience vote. Today, you may vote for your favorite student, the one that has piqued your interest. All votes will be counted equally in order to determine the winners of the competition. Voting will open right after the interviews. And now, without further ado, let me introduce you to our first student. He is currently ranked number 1 in the Academy, has an impeccable academic record, a student body presidency, and is perhaps the most promising student of my own department. Please welcome Mr. Tadashi Nakano. Tadashi made his way up, giving the audience a wave, and sat down on the couch in front of the teachers. Alright, Tadashi, I'm going to spare you the classic interview questions, as I believe you are already well known within the business community. Instead, tell me, what is something about you that not many people know? I appreciate it, Miss Arlington. You have no idea how many times I've been asked what my biggest strengths and weaknesses are, or what my plans are for the next 5 years. I think something that not many people know about me is my love for tutoring others. I may not come across as the most patient guy, but I do enjoy helping others learn. I grew up with a lot of private tutors. They made me who I am today. I hope I can have this kind of impact on somebody one day. Their interview didn't last longer than 2 minutes, but the ease in which Tadashi answered the questions absolutely floored me. He knew exactly what to say to make himself look good. It's like he's been doing this all of his life. He was going to get a lot of votes for sure. The rest of my classmates passed their interviews one by one. While most of the questions were pretty standard, asking them about their skills, their experiences, and about their plans for the future, some of them were rather unconventional. Tigan, how would you go about estimating the number of computers at Arlington Academy? I guess I'd start by determining how many people there are at Arlington, staff members and students included. From there on, I think it's safe to assume that all of them have at least a smartphone, right? We know that most students have a laptop at their disposition. We also know that most staff members have their own computer in their office. Let's also assume that around 40% of people in general have access to 2 personal computers just because the school has the budget. Finally, the computer room has around 50 desktop computers available to students and 40 laptops available for rent. Putting all of those assumptions together, I believe this amounts to 1,589 computers. Even if he was a little awkward about it, Deacon couldn't have taken more than a few seconds to do the mental math, making his answer all the more impressive. Nia, how do you personally make the difference between style and fashion trends? In my opinion, this is the most important question a designer must ask themselves, Miss Khan. A fashion trend is self-explanatory. It is a trend based on a style that is currently deemed profitable and aesthetically pleasing by the fashion industry. Style, however, is a person's inner essence brought into material form. It's emotion, conviction, and dreams put into appearance. It represents both who a person is and who they'd like to be. Style is the personal relationship you have with fashion. Damn. Fashion trends change over time and don't hold that much intrinsic value. Style, however, is timeless. Trends distract, style builds connection. It was unexpected to get such a passionate and eloquent answer from Nia. It was clear that this was a topic she really took to heart. Claire, what would you say makes you hopeful for the future of humanity? Claire seemed a bit taken aback. I gave her a thumbs up and she gave me a small smile. When I volunteer at the hospital, I see people coming together every day. Human beings have this tendency of coming together in the face of tragedy. Sometimes bad things cannot be avoided, despite all of our efforts. I think the only thing we can really do is support each other, have compassion, and try our best. And from what I can see, even if there are some bad apples in the bunch, this is already the case. I believe our care for one another will drive humanity forward. For someone that is clearly not meant to be in front of a camera, Claire did stunningly well. Her positive vibes were sure to get her a good batch of votes. So, Ellie, you've made it clear that you love robots and pulling pranks on your classmates. How would you go about designing the perfect prank-pulling robot? Ha! That must be the best question I've ever had to answer, Miss Lee. Laughs were heard throughout the audience. Let's see, I can safely say from experience that a good prank must have the following. It must be unexpected, convincing, and adapted to the prankee. With that in mind, the robot's hardware would be built for stealth, not too big, not too small, hopefully with camouflage capabilities. Then, AI would be built to be able to adapt to the person's reactions, changing the course of the plan if needed, constantly searching for new information to make the prank effective while still being able to stay within the framework given. Finally, it would be tested on a high enough sample of people in order to account for error margins. And then, I'd release it into Arlington Academy, of course. Ellie seemed to have a certain charm that bled easily through the camera. It was clear she didn't need to practice anything beforehand in order to win over the audience. Alistar, you've clearly demonstrated the extent of your positive attitude, but let's balance it out a little. Tell us what scares you the most. Wow, I don't think anybody could have expected that. I hope this doesn't play against Alistar. Always the demanding one, aren't you, coach? I think what scares me the most is the possibility of letting people down. I've worked very hard to get where I am, but I know that I would have never gotten this far if it weren't for the help of many people around me. My friends have always got my back, and my family sacrificed a lot for me. Even you, coach. I don't know where I'd be without your advice. Aww. Coach Davis looked a little emotional at Alistar's words. Ultimately, this fear just drives me to work even harder. I'm just very grateful to be here. Leave it to Alistar to turn an unflattering question to his advantage. I don't think it's even possible to dislike him, even with his apparent discomfort in front of the camera. Carolina, however, was a complete natural. She knew exactly how to act, what to say, and looked incredible on the screen. Guess being photogenic is to be expected when you're a model. Carolina, you've obviously got quite some charm. Can you tell us what's your secret to winning over people? Now that is an excellent question, Miss Khan. I think the best way of winning them over is to surprise them. Flash them a smile, find out what they think about you, and then completely turn those expectations in their head. And then allow them to do the same. In my experience, I have often found that the best contacts to have are the most daring ones. You want to win them over and be won over by them. After what I witnessed in the classroom earlier today with her, this answer did not surprise me at all. When Axel's turn came, the whole audience unsurprisingly cheered loudly for him. He made his way confidently to his seat. Despite having made no preparation at all for his interview, Axel completely nailed it. He definitely had a lot of charm in front of a camera. Your career is definitely impressive for such a young age, Axel. You seem to be focusing a lot on living in the present moment. That's correct. But tell me, what would you like to be remembered for, say, if you died tomorrow? Oh wow, Dr. Kim. What put you in such a dark mood today? I must be honest with you, I didn't really think of this up until now. But I think I'd like to be remembered as a performer that touched people's hearts, whose music made life better for them. Even now, nothing makes me happier than having a fan tell me that my music helped them through rough times. I tell myself that even if I can make 1%, really, just one tiny portion of their pain disappear, then everything I'm doing is worth it. Damn. I could have sworn I had some swooning around me. Wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Axel was surprisingly very genuine. There were several other students to interview before Tyler finally made his way up to the stage. Tyler, you definitely have the skills of someone who belongs in my department. Your paintings show for it. But I want to know what you think is the difference between a painter and an artist. Tyler seemed to ponder that for a moment. It was definitely a good question to ask. I guess that depends on what you consider art, Mr. Boss. Would you care to elaborate? If we consider art in the traditional sense, as in the techniques used to express what we consider as objective beauty, then the painter would be an artist only when he is using painting techniques to create something beautiful. But if we consider art as the general expression of human creativity and emotion, and assume that all art is subjective, then nearly anything can be considered art. The painter would then only be an artist if he paints what he considers creative and pleasing. I do believe personally that the answer lies somewhere between both worldviews. I think that ultimately there is no difference between the painter and the artist. There are simply two sides of the same coin. The audience listened in stunned silence as Tyler responds. Tyler isn't known to be the most philosophical guy out there. In fact, it is quite the opposite. I've always pegged him as a humorous, easygoing guy. But I think this duality only made him more interesting to the public. Maybe Carolina was onto something when she spoke of playing with people's expectations. He's definitely going to get a good amount of votes for that answer alone. Raquel was the last one of my classmates to pass the interview. Raquel, I think you've established how much you love soccer. What would you do if you weren't a soccer player? Is that a trick question, coach? You know I'd never switch. I love it too much. I seriously cannot imagine myself doing anything else. I love the team at Arlington, and I'd honestly die for this and I'd honestly die for his girls. You have to answer, Raquel. Fine. I guess I'd be a football coach. Or if that can't happen, I can see myself in another active environment as well. I don't think I would survive in a normal 9 to 5 day job. Maybe I could be a firefighter or something. Definitely something that would help the community. I feel the most at home when I'm part of a team, a family. Knowing Raquel's problems with authority, I'm not too sure she could be a public servant, but her drive to help people did not surprise me. The rest of the students passed their interview one by one. It lasted hours, and with each passing minute, I couldn't help but feel a little more nervous. It was clear that some people were more experienced with public interviews than others, but regardless of their level, all of them were able to pull through with good answers. Not one student messed up. The department heads were asking questions that were obviously in the students' favor. It was clear that the teachers wanted to challenge them enough so that they'd have a chance to shine, but keep it doable. The questions were personalized in a way, but I've only been at Arlington for a few weeks. The teachers didn't have the time to get to know me well enough. I couldn't help but wonder what kind of questions I would be asked. Would they be generic questions? Would they be extremely challenging? Would they help gain me votes? I had absolutely no idea. God, why did I have to be the new kid at the most prestigious school in the country? It took a moment to remember all of my classmates' interviews. While some of them were definitely playing up their strengths, all of them were clearly just genuine. Even Carolina. I didn't sense that any of them were lying. Trying to impress? Obviously, but they were being completely honest. Face it, Forrest, you don't know how to impress people as well as some people here. You don't have much experience in this kind of situation either. Axel was right. The only thing you can do is try to be the best of yourself. That's what I'm going to do. And with that, we can now conclude the interviews for all of Arlington's ranked students. We will now begin the unranked students' interview. Those are the students that have just joined us at the academy. Since my colleagues have yet to get to know them well, I will be taking over and interviewing them all. Let's begin, shall we? And with that, the interviews began. It only took a few students to pass before Lady Arlington was calling my name. Our next student is one of our 10 scholarship students. This student has been selected within a pool of over 7,000 applicants, impressing the school's administration with an impeccable record and promising talents. Let us welcome Forrest to the stage. My heart jumped out of my chest. I made my way up to the seat. The camera was not too far from me, and somehow it made me even more nervous. It just felt so surreal. I was being watched by potentially millions who would judge me and decide if I was worth giving 2 seconds of their time to cast a vote. It seemed like my whole body was shaking from the adrenaline, and I hope it wasn't too obvious. Lady Arlington's expression wobbled a little as she looked at me, but she kept her signature political smile on her face. Where is that smile, okay? Where is that smile? It never shows on the sprite, okay? I'm still not sure what is wrong with me. Why is Lady Arlington always so weird around me? Good evening, Miss Arlington. It's really a pleasure to be here. The pleasure is all mine, my dear. Tell me, Forrest, what do you think of Arlington Academy so far? Oh, I think it's truly a place filled with amazing people. I was aware that I was going to attend one of the best high schools in the world, but it was still quite a shock to me. Arlington is definitely one of a kind. It makes me happy that you feel that way. Now enough about school, let's talk about you. Tell me, Forrest, what does being an Arlington Academy student mean to you? It means... having the opportunity of being the best I can be. I want to show that I am ambitious. Or getting outside of my comfort zone. I want to show that I'm open-minded. Honestly, getting out of the comfort zone is probably the biggest thing. Like, it would be the biggest thing for me in such a setting. Because, let's face it, there is a lot of possibilities for that. And I like improving myself. Care to give us examples? Oh, absolutely. Though I will say that nearly everything about the academy has challenged me out of my comfort zone. The ranking system, for example, while being a very efficient and competitive system, is definitely not something I'm used to. The workload when it comes to homework and assignments has easily doubled from what I was handling back home. And to be perfectly honest, due to the caliber of the school, some of my classmates require more finesse when socializing. At the end of the day though, I'm thankful for those experiences. They make me grow despite how hard they can be. Personal growth is definitely something we aim for students to achieve. Although I will say that, in a way, being a student at Arlington is kind of like being part of a huge, multi-talented and unconventional family. Oh? Now that's a rather uncommon response. Would you care to explain your point of view? It might seem a little out of place and I might be diving into some more personal feelings here, but I will admit that adjusting to Arlington Academy has been a little bit of a challenge. I have always been someone who likes to belong. I think all of us are to some degree. I try to give as much as I can to the people around me. Sometimes I find myself caring a little more than I should about the small things. In the little time that I've been here at the academy, I have witnessed many close friendships that I couldn't help but admire. The competition is fierce, and not everyone here is interested in connecting with others. However, those who do, they seem to flock together. I thought about Carolina and Nia, how they seem to be great friends regardless of their differences. It was the same for Tegan and Tyler. I thought about Eddie's outgoing nature, how she was willing to listen to me when I was feeling anxious before the fitness test, even if she'd known me for less than a week. I thought about Claire and her intrinsically caring attitude towards her classmates, how she was willing to transcribe a full notebook of her notes for her department to use. I even thought about Tadashi, who despite looking like he's about to blow up on anyone, still tries to do his best for the student body, including with whatever was going on with Rako. They flock together, like a family. I'm not part of the family yet. I've only been here for a few weeks, but I hope that one day I'll be part of the Arlington family too. Lady Arlington looked at me, a mixture of shock and another emotion I couldn't quite put my finger on. She looked almost emotional. Upset? Congratulations. Okay, we have unlocked the illustration. Awesome. I thought I caught some tears forming in her eyes. However, she quickly shook her feelings off and gave me back her signature smile. Well, thank you very much for sharing this with us, Forrest. I think a lot of us would be happy to have you part of the family. Thank you very much. You've made it clear that you value others and that you're ready to be a team player. But let's find out just a bit more about you. One last question. What do you value the most in yourself? I think what I value the most is... Oh god. Another choice. I'm good with choosing what I want to say, but not what I like about myself. I strive to be as competent as I can be, and this means fully taking responsibility for my weaknesses. I do it for myself because I think it's an act of self-love to work on yourself, to allow yourself to develop skills and abilities that will ultimately make you a better person. However, I also do it for others. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. I want to be someone on whom my peers can rely. I want to be there when people ask for help. I want to be a strong member of a team. Choose competence. Okay, so we got the achievement. I want to be the very best for me so that I can be the best for others. The audience was filled with silence as I gave my answer to Lady Arlington in the cameras. I wasn't sure whether it was a good or a bad thing. I was telling the truth, but for all I know, I could have been making a fool out of myself on live broadcast. God, I sure hope that wasn't the case. Well, Forrest, it's clear that you have a strong sense of who you are, and I admire that. And from what I can tell, it seems like you have won the hearts of many already. Lady A gestured towards the audience and I heard multiple cheers. A lot more than I had anticipated. I took a quick look backstage where some of my classmates were. I got several excited smiles and thumbs up. Okay, seems like I didn't do too bad. Thank you very much, Forrest, and I wish you the best of luck in this competition. Thank you so much. With one last wave of applause, I made my way off the stage and joined everyone else backstage as Lady Arlington introduced the next student. It felt like my heart was beating at 1,000 miles per hour. Oh my god, it was finally over. I took a seat trying to focus on the rest of the interviews, but all I could hear around were whispers. For some reason, I felt like all eyes were on me. Not long after, the interviews were finally over and Lady Arlington was preparing to close the night. And with that, the interviews portion of the department's competition has come to an end. Thank you to all of you that have turned in to watch. We hope that this has been as much of a pleasure for you as it was for us. As a reminder, you are able to vote for your favorite student if you'd like them to win the individual category prize. Voting will officially start now. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the opening ceremony of the department's competition. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful night. And with that, the live stream was over, and one after the other, students turned back on their cell phones and instantly went on the Academy's website. The audience had 30 minutes to cast their votes, and I had a feeling all eyes were going to be glued to the screen for that time. I, however, didn't feel like keeping track of the voting. All I wanted was to just chill. Today had been exhausting, and if I were to be ready for tomorrow's events, I was going to need to get a good night's sleep, unlike last night. After all, it's not as if I was going to get a lot of votes. Many of my classmates had knocked it out of the park today, and I was definitely not in a place to compete with any of them. I grabbed my stuff and made my way out of the area. And today, okay. With all of the commotion going on back at the interview stage, the entire school was empty. It felt oddly peaceful. It seemed like the academy was always buzzing with energy, with stress. It was almost relaxing to be able to see the school in this way, though I knew that this stage was only temporary. To be frank, when I'm at my university and I have classes, like I have my additional classes in the evenings till basically the closing of the school, I really like the atmosphere of an almost completely deserted university, especially since like it's incredibly old. So like the climate there is just like, it's just so pretty, like, you know, kind of like Hogwarts, but like, Anyway, it was almost relaxing to be able to see the school in this way. I thought I knew that this state was only temporary. I couldn't help but feel like something happened during that interview. Something big, but I couldn't quite pinpoint what it was. Lady Arlington, I wonder what she has against me. She reacted similarly to me when we first saw each other on the first day of school. She looked like she had just seen a ghost. I couldn't think of a single reason why she would react that way though. Not when I started school, not today. And now, there's the issue of the competition tomorrow. I had managed to survive the interview, but there was only so much I could do for tomorrow's events. That's where the meat is going to be. I just hope that I'll be able to keep up with the rest of my department. Before I knew it, I was lost in thought, making my way through the hallway, trying to get my mind to focus on getting it together for tomorrow. Forrest! Oh my gosh, I found you! Guys, over here! I jumped as Ellie screamed my name from the other side of the hallway. She and a bunch of others were frantically running towards me, looking both ecstatic and a little insane. What in the world was going on? Ellie? Holy crap, Forrest, I can't believe you made it. That's awesome. Whew, Forrest, I gotta say, you're no joke. Though it was to be expected with the interview of yours. I'm really happy for you. You definitely deserve it. That interview was fire. Guys? What are you talking about? You mean you don't know? Forrest, if I were you, I'd log on to the Academy's website and check the results of the vote. I narrowed my eyes at them as I took my phone out of my pocket. What they were implying? No, there is no way. And yet, as I scrolled to the rankings, I have to make my way all the way to the top before finding my position. 3rd place in the entire academy, right behind Tadashi and Axel. There was an instant dizziness inside my body as my brain tried to understand what had happened. I felt my knees get weak. What? These... Congratulations, Forrest. You made it into the top 3. But I don't understand. There was nothing special about my interview. How in the world did I manage to get close to you and Tadashi, let alone beat the rest of you? It doesn't make sense. Oh, come on. Give yourself some credit. You were a total charmer up there. Seriously, read the comments on the website. They're calling you Arlington's sweetheart. I think that part about you wanting to belong really resonated with people. Dude, it gave me so many feels. It was definitely a winner. Everyone in the room looked like they were ready to lay down their life for you. While I was trying to make sense of all of this, my heart was beating wildly against my chest. I still couldn't believe it. How had this happened? I know how hard it can be to accept the little bits of success that you get, Forrest, but think of it this way. You're one step closer to getting into the silver tier. Also, the competition isn't over. You still have tomorrow to get as many individual votes as possible. Who knows? You might even beat me and Tadashi. And Tadashi. You might just win the individual prize. Regardless of the situation, you're guaranteed at least a modest ranking boost for your file. And you deserve it. That's absolutely crazy, you guys. To be honest, I never really expected to resonate with the Academy's audience this much. To be perfectly frank, me neither, Forrest. I jumped a little as Tadashi snuck up on the conversation. Wow, way to be an asshole like always. That's not what I meant, and you know it. I didn't expect you to pull through so well, Forrest. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think I'm wrong in saying that your mental state has not been the best since you arrived at the academy. Well, was it that obvious? Yeah, you're not wrong, Tadashi, and I'm not offended, by the way. Good, because I wanted to personally congratulate you, and I must admit, I'm quite thrilled to finally have some worthy competition. Batting for the top spot with Axel has always felt like a waste of my time. Hey shithead, I'm right here, you know? I am aware. While the rest of them erupted into laughter, still riding the high of the interviews, I felt something swell in my chest that I haven't felt in a long time. Was it hope? Pride? I wasn't too sure. What I was sure about was that I was now ready for tomorrow's competition, at least emotionally. It felt good to finally have a victory. Oh, come on, Dashi. You just admit that you were hella jealous of Forrest when she rocked it on the stage. Not really. Dude, the way your eyes shut open when she dropped the whole "I want to be part of the Arlington family" line was amazing. It was a clever marketing move, even if it was probably unintentional. Herder, it was a clever marketing move. You guys, stop being mean to him. He's chronically stressed out. No offense, Claire, but that's 100% his fault. It did feel good to have a victory. Being in the top 3 of the initial voting was definitely not anywhere close to what I expected. I'm this close to sending all of you in detention. Even you all. But something told me that it wasn't the only victory I had today. Today felt like I was finally starting to belong here. Maybe it's time to call it a night? I agree, we're all going to need some rest. Shit, that reminds me, I still got some paperwork to do. Hey man, take it easy, we can help you. No, it's okay, I can do it. Oh my god, shut the hell up and take the help, you moron. I can take care of the emails. I'll make you a calming tea. and I'll make sure you actually get some sleep tonight. Come on, Forrest, let's go back to the dorms. Ellie took me by the arm. I might not be part of the Arlington family yet, but I think I'm on the right track. Alright, and this concludes episode 4. That said, see you guys on the next time. Bye!